he stretched his hand to touch my thighs, and I was starting to like Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Consider subscribing if you want to get notifications whenever I post a new video. So as you can see from the title, I'll be telling you guys a story of how I was almost kidnapped. This is a miracle. This is something I consider a miracle. It was my worst day, but to think of it right now, I just see how blessed I was on that day to even survive, to be able to tell you guys what really transpired on that day. If you are a sensitive viewer, I would urge you not to continue watching this video because I might include pictures or videos that might be disturbing to you. So this happened during the summer holidays, just a few weeks before I started my first year. I decided to go and have my hair braided. I'm in Algeria. For all those who didn't watch my first video, I'm a student in Algeria, and in this place we don't have salons that braid like that African type of style. So I had no option that day but to go to my friend to do my hair, and I had to go to another hostel which was like 20 minutes away from mine. And it was something that was normal, and it's something that's common where somebody can just go to town, get on a taxi and go to town alone. I mean, people did that and people still do that. But for me, that was like an unfortunate day for me because I got on a taxi. I told this man where I was going, and yeah, he told me the price and told me, okay, get in. And like, even as I was entering, he was like, come sit in front. But I was like, no, I'm just going to sit behind. And yeah, I went to sit behind, and I made sure I sat right behind the driver. So he started driving, and he didn't like talk to me. He didn't like hold any conversation or anything like that. But he stretched his hand to touch my thighs, and I was starting to like get creeped out. I'm like, why is he doing this? First of all, no taxi driver here does this. So why is he stretching his hand? And I moved. Just after I moved near the door so that his hand can stretch far enough to reach my thighs. When I moved, he locked the doors, and then in a few minutes he started closing the windows. This is summer and the driver is closing the windows. The car is already getting heated, like it's hot. Why is he closing the windows? For me, I started I started having thoughts like something bad is happening, something is wrong. And there are only two possible routes for me to go to my destination. So we passed the first one, and I was like, okay, there's still one more route left. Just to be sure, because I started getting suspicious. So just to be sure, I was like, this is my destination, like just in case he forgot or something. And he's like, yes, I know. He's been giving me attitude. He's like, yes, I know. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep quiet. And he kept driving, and he was driving so fast. He kept driving, and next thing, we've passed the second possible route. And then when you pass the second possible route, it's like you're now starting to enter into another city, like the road that leads to another city. So I was like, this is not, I know my city, like I know this is not the route we use to go to my destination. So something must be wrong. And at that point, I started panicking, like I started shaking. And I'm like, okay, first of all, if anything happens, let me inform people just in case anything happens. So I texted 4 people. I texted them just telling them, I didn't even know what I was texting. Like I was just so fast. I couldn't even feel my hands. I was like, whatever happens, at least people should be able to locate me. So I texted my mom, my brother, and 2 of my friends, and all of them were off. well, only one person was online. My friend was online, and she started calling. My phone was on silent, thank God, because if it was not on silent, maybe the man would have just been like, pass the phone or something. So I didn't want to pick up because, of, I don't know, I was just thinking something would go wrong. So yeah, I didn't pick up, and my brother replied after some time. He's like, whatever spirit this is, God is going to fight for you. But I didn't have time to reply back. I was just there like, I'm just informing them, so I have no time to like hold a conversation. And this man is just focusing on the road. I remind him for the second time. I'm like, this is my destination, where are you taking me? And this time he didn't answer. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is not, he has a plan, he has an agenda. He's not even like responding. I'm telling him where I'm going, and he's now like focusing on the road. His main focus was the road. Like, he should just reach the destination, like wherever he's trying to take me. And in my head, I'm like, here, there are only two things involved. It's either I'm going to be raped, or it's going to be human trafficking or sex trafficking, whatever it's called. And personally, I would not allow somebody to reach me that far just to abuse me. No. So I'm like, I need to find a way out. So what I did was I started like scanning the situation, and I looked behind. It's a highway, cars are moving fast. I looked behind, and there are a lot of cars, even cars just right behind the taxi I was in. And I'm like, here, what am I going to do? I started praying. I'm like, Lord, please, like, I just need a solution right now. Like, I need strength first of all, and I need wisdom. What should I do? Should I sit? Should I call people? Should I pick up the calls that I'm receiving? Or should I just like jump out or something? I was just so shocked. Like, I was traumatized. I was panicking. I was shaking. My friend also keeps calling, but my phone is on silent. So what I did was I just put it in the bag. I'm like, here, I think I should get out of this car. But then he locked the door. So what I did was I started doing things slowly without him noticing. So I just like laid back. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to start by unlocking the door without him noticing. So I didn't like open it, like push it. I just unlocked that thing he locked, and I'm just seated there also trying to just look, unbothered and all that. Next thing, I'm like, God, now is the time I need your strength. Like, I need your strength. And I was shaking. I'm like, here, if he just sees me, I'm dead. Like, I am dead. I tried opening the door. I never knew it was so hard to push a door that's, a door of a fast moving car. Like, it was coming back. I'm trying to open, it's coming back. And that's the time the man noticed. He noticed, and he looked back, and he now like even increased the speed. So I'm like, oh my God. And for me there, I'm just like fighting. There are a lot of thoughts running in my mind, but I'm like, whatever happens, I know if I jump out, for me, I was just like, when I jump out here, I'm going to die. But for me, I was like, it's better I die on the road than me being raped in front, than me being used as a sex object or something. I will not accept that. God, if I've ever sinned against you or anybody, just forgive me. I know this is the end. For me, I was just thinking of death. I jump out and I die. That's all. Because there are a lot of cars. So if I jump out, obviously I'll be run over and all that. So there, I'm still trying to, push. He's driving so fast, and I'm like pushing the door, trying to find a space for me to jump out. And I was just so lucky at that point. I managed to find, a small space for me to jump out, and I was there on the road rolling towards the direction of the car because of the wind and the pressure from the fast moving car. And that's the time I felt pain. Like, I felt pain like no man's business. I was bruised. The part that was bruised the most was my back. Like, it was really bad. My knees, my face also was bleeding, my elbow. Like, I was just injured. Like, I was traumatized, confused, and I'm still rolling, and I can hear myself on the road. Like, I can hear myself, the friction of my body and the tarmac, a heated tarmac. It's hot. I couldn't believe it. Like, I actually just thought the last rolling I would do would be the end of me. Let me just show you. I actually have the skinnies that I wore that day. I don't know, I just didn't feel like throwing them away. But this is what I wore on that day. And this is how bad it was. These are the skinnies. This is how it ripped on the tarmac. All this ripped on the tarmac. And I was just like bleeding all over, you know. And this is the shirt that I had on that day. And this is also like the tarmac, the thing that it got from the rolling. And this was also like inside is my body. And I'm just there bleeding, and I can feel myself. I can actually, you know, that friction of the tires on the road, like I can hear myself, like as I roll, I can hear that sound like that. And there I was just weak. I finally stopped rolling, and I'm just there on the road, helpless, strengthless. I don't know what to do next. The distance from where I'm at and my hostel is something that I couldn't even calculate because it was just so far. So I'm like, if I walk here, I'm going to be lying to myself. If I get, like, a lot of thoughts were running in my head on that day. Like, if I walk, and I was just thinking of the taxi man, like the driver coming back or getting me or just bashing me because he knows I'm going to report him or something. So like a lot of things, a lot of thoughts in my head, and I'm like, if I get into another taxi here, then like I'm just going to end my life like that, and I'll just not risk it. But what happened was shocking. It was sad because I tried stopping cars. And nobody stopped. People were just watching me bleed. People watching me ask for help, and I'm like, where is humanity? I am weak. You can't even dare to just stop, ask me what's going on. Even if you don't want blood in your car, call an ambulance for me, because I was bleeding. And you know, until a taxi came. There's an old man, he's driving to another town, because the road we're at, it's like we're entering another town or city. Then the old man started questioning me, like he's the one who questioned me the most. What's happening? What's wrong? And all that. And he just felt pity for me. He's like, you know what? He told the driver, like, leave me here. I'm going to find my own way. Like, just take this girl where she's supposed to go, because she really needs to be helped. And that's how I was helped by this other taxi man. Like, just getting into another taxi was a decision that was hard for me to make. What if he just takes me elsewhere also? And he took me to the hostel. Then at the hostel, I didn't like enter my room. I just waited by the guard's house. They had to wait for some seniors to help me. We went to the police station. I felt like my mind was being tortured because they asked me, like, what's the number plate? And you know, they were like, for them, I guess they just wanted to help. But how do you expect somebody to see a number plate while they're rolling, honestly? So I was just there, like, I don't know, and I cried at the police station. And they couldn't do anything. Unfortunately, the police couldn't do anything because I didn't get the number plate, and they called the ambulance. So we reached the hospital, and there I had to like have an x-ray. They gave me prescriptions. They told me to get, you know, the thing for the neck that I had to wear to support my neck, because my neck had a minor internal injury which gave me a hard time like healing. Then after that, I had to go back to the hostel, and the recovery process itself was a miracle. I didn't expect myself to even be able to like walk, because the way I was limping for 2 weeks, I thought it was a permanent, like, you know, thing, like maybe I'll be disabled or something. But with God, He helped me push through, and I was just trying. Like the second week, I started trying to walk. My friend would take me out just to like walk on the stairs to exercise. And you know, the wounds on the other hand, like the open wounds would really hurt, because my friends would like clean them and all that, and they would bath me. It was not easy for me to eat. The biggest wound, which was on my back, was the worst, because it would remove pus every day. Like, it would remove pus, and I couldn't even like sleep because I was scared. So what I would do is, sometimes I would sleep in this position. Just find a pillow to like support my head. And days went on like that. Like it became a routine. Nights would be hard because I'll just be thinking of the situation. I would imagine, I would think of the moment I jumped out. I would think of what was going to go wrong. What if I didn't jump out? Like a lot of thoughts would go on, especially at night. My friends really tried to like cheer me up, but sometimes I wouldn't even want to laugh back. Like maybe the cracking jokes, I'll just be like with a straight face, because it was something that was traumatizing for me. It really affected me. It affected my health, and it also affected my academics. If you've been in this situation, I really sympathize with you, because I know how it feels. Or maybe if you recently experienced this, I know how it feels. It can get really traumatizing. As for me, I really thank God I'm alive right now. The advice I have for you guys, based on my experience, is avoid moving alone. Especially females, we are the targets mostly, and it's hard for you to fight back. For example, if I went with that guy wherever he wanted to take me, it would have been hard to fight back, even if like I'm being raped, it's hard to fight back. So just to avoid all this, avoid moving alone, and be aware of your surroundings. Don't be on your phone as you are traveling, like in a taxi. Make sure you're seeing that, okay, this is the route, this is the word. Because if I was on my phone on that day, I don't think I'd have managed to jump out or even notice that something was wrong. Also, as you travel, make sure you give a short prayer. Just, God protect me. It's going to take you a long way, trust me. Sit behind the driver. If you are alone, on days you find it urgent to move alone, sit right behind the driver. It's going to help you a lot. Even if you're trying to escape, it's going to be much easier, because if you sit in front, he can easily hold you, like hold your hand or pull you back. So just take precautions. This world is evil. We are not the authors of our lives. At any point in life, you might experience something that's sudden. So this thing is something I didn't expect, and it's really like affected me in so many ways. But I didn't expect this. It just happened suddenly. It might not be in form of kidnapping. It can be in your school, in your work. You lose your job or something. Life happens like that. But do not give up. Do not lose hope. Trust me, I got suicidal after this, and it's something that I've really tried my best to deal with. I got suicidal. I remember I had to surrender. Like, I had to tell God, I can't do this. I'm even thinking of death right now. It's like I literally used to go to school for nothing, you see, like not learning. I'll be thinking of going home. I just want to leave this place. But with time, I moved on. Even the same Algerians helped me. Like, everywhere you go, you find good people and bad people, but take precautions. This was it. I wanted to share my experience, and for this video, shout out goes to the people who helped me get through this, the people who took care of me in that situation where I couldn't do things on my own. Shout out goes to my family that like really tried their best to help me get over this as well. And lastly, shout out goes to the people who've been supporting me and my YouTube channel. Thank you, the shares, the support, the comments. I really do appreciate. And if you learned something from this video, please do share. Somebody else might need this information more than you do or more than you think. So kindly share on your different platforms and spread to raise awareness. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.